Hello and welcome to another coaching video, and in this one we have Emerald Zac versus Emerald Fiddlesticks. A more unique matchup than we're seeing in the meta these days with the free camp red side quadrant ganking, as I covered on the main channel, but some people try and pick up Zac because they think, hey, free ganks, free team fights, free carries, and then they struggle to find the angles. Let's see if this guy can do it. Likewise, most Fiddlestickses will be full clearing, doing their own business, and then the enemy jungler's ganking. And they're thinking, how can I win and carry these games when my bot lane is inting a Rek'Sai? Well, that's the wrong way to look at it, but we'll see exactly what they do in this game. So we can speed this up a little bit. We're going to go blue into the Gromp, into the Wolves. We're going to do the Zac clear here, also blue side quadrant, which is quite weird considering the current meta. But, you know, it's Diana, she's shoving up the Kassadin. I like this ward in spirit because you know the Zac started butt side, you know the Zac's going upside, so unless he cuts down here for a gank, you will see him full clearing up. Now, for the Zac, if you see this, which you technically should, right? If you see the Diana segue up to the top side, come from this side, you know it's warded, you know your Raptors are seen. Hey, Fiddlesticks started top side going down, I'm going up, Diana can see me, she has no vision on the butt. Why don't you simply cut down here and give her a cheeky gank level 3? You're not expecting any kill threat, you're just expecting a little bit of a chunk. Maybe you can burn flash if you're lucky, and Fiddlesticks is not going to want to cut to react. If he does, he compromises his full sequence, which hurts him more than it hurts you. So this is the nice kind of stuff in Emerald that I think you should think about. Rather than going straight to something that you know you're going to be seen on, cut up and make the gank. And this is what Lemon does. The absolute, oh look, he has vision. How do you guys have seen this? Lemon is, since Season 6, been Challenger on Hecarim. One trick, top 10 career every season at some point, and he loves to do this. He'll watch this kind of vision movement here, and then you just cut down like, now if you're gonna go ahead and gank this, you see what I'm saying? Like, this is the difference between a guy that's Challenger for almost a decade and this. No offense, but it's okay to make this mistake, right? But if you make this mistake every game and you're wondering, hey, why am I not Diamond? Why am I not going Masters here? This is why. This is it. These little data points, these little things that occur in the game that you just don't notice. So if you were able to cut down here, get the gank off, right, we get the prio now. Obviously, Fiddlesticks is not going to react, and if he does, you get that benefit. You understand the pain of being a jungler. I understand the pain of being the jungler. I've been there too. So I created the solution, all-encompassing jungle courses that gave you the relevant information that you could use to climb each tier. And so for Split 2 of Season 13, I'm launching an easy way to have all the courses to address the issues you're having in your current MMR, to make improving as a jungler even faster than it's ever been, and to give more value and information than I've ever done in one simple place. Your new place for jungle growth and jungle diffing. And then give you a whole bunch of other stuff like free jungle cheat sheets, a custom-made video just for the Jungle Club every single week, open Q&As every single week, patch rundowns, free coaching twice a week for anyone who wants to join the room. I've been the go-to jungle YouTuber since 2017. I've coached thousands of clients. I'm a qualified teacher with 15 years experience. I know how to make a course, and I know how to make junglers convert from low elo to gold to emerald to diamond to master plus. If you want to climb faster than anybody you know, jungle diff every game you play, head to virkayu.gg, click on jungle course memberships and sign up to reach your true potential. And obviously he's full clearing all the way down as well. You lose double scuttle tempo, and he's doing what he should do with his bonus time. Can I gank this? No? All right, I'm gonna go ahead and ward. I wouldn't ward that. Like, I guess it makes sense, you know, like, you know, yeah, it's okay. Effigy's fine. A normal ward, yes, because we want to see the Gromp take, but an Effigy gets spotted and killed, so you kind of want to leave it there. You can get really good value from that. And if Zac decides to come down for his Gromp, you know, after full clear, scuttle, 28 CS, and you see him move down here at 32, he probably took the Gromp. If he shows up 28, he didn't take the Gromp, so you have the information anyway, right? Now, obviously, we are shadowing a little bit too much here, a little bit too much waffling. Very much the problem with Emerald junglers on the other side of the coin is, hey, you've done the effigy, you've done the scuttle, go, 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 look at this lane, look at this lane. Now, if you're paying attention to it, if it's been shoved up the whole time, it's the reason you didn't gank before scuttle, because you know that the Zac is topside thanks to Diana's vision, right? So why would you not just go sit in this bush and watch them? They know that you probably did the scuttle. They think it's 337, you're probably done. Maybe you're going to go drive across mid lane for double scuttle, although it's not season 11 anymore, so who does that even? Sit here. Wait for this engage. Let Rakan bait it. Because he does a beautiful job of, you know, I don't know if he's necessarily baiting in the most exemplary, okay, well, Ezreal baits with his positioning. You know, like, we're not here. We're just waffling in the river. So this should be a straight up hardcore 3v2. Yeah, Ezreal makes a big boo-boo, but if you were here right now, I'd like to think we could turn this on pretty much most junglers. And yeah, they get hooked, but you'd be in a position to silence, to fear, to flash suck, You could stop this kill. Like, this guy's gonna basically just die. You get nothing. You're gonna fear the Nautilus, who still has his flash up now. All he has to do is wait a little bit. Dyna's moving on down here. He just Q's out of your suck. Dyna's rotating down here to get the flash. Like, that's great she gets the kill, but this wasn't needed from the Dyna. Now you've compromised mid lane a little bit. Zach's in the meantime just doing this full clear. 2,000 years slow, this particular stage. What are we looking to do here, Zachary? Where are we going, Zachary? If you're gonna dive this guy, dive from here. And again, look at Gnar. You're not diving a Gnar when he's like half rage bar. You need Mega for that. So that's why that champion struggles when he's not a little bit too strong in the numbers game. So, you're costing your Diana stuff. Sure, you get an assist. You cost your bot lane stuff. It's just, the Kassadin gets free real estate experience, gold, no harass. He's got a shadowing Zach. Now we're going to shove this out as well. It's just, oh, Ezreal actually does what he should do in this particular case. Go mid lane. But it's just not what we ideally wanted, is it? So Fiddle really makes a big mistake, I feel like. That's a very typical Emerald jungle mistake, which is X-Plat, X-D4, right? So that's the kind of stuff we're talking about. All Plat, all D4 if you're still not used to it, but that's what is Emerald, so I'll just continue to call it Emerald. The Zac now, basically, yeah, well, he can vibe. I mean, you might as well. And obviously the vision here is nice. We like this good, deep vision. When you have support pressure, because of this kind of stuff, I love that you get some deep vision here from the Rakan. That's exactly what you want to do. We see the Zac here now. We'll see him move down. We could also have taken this away, I think, if we were the Fiddle, but we didn't. We should have. And now, obviously, Zac can either go Wolves Grumbling, which I like too. I like this behavior. I mean, not this so much, but this I like, because, like, are you going to outfarm? Ooh, Gethu got spotted. Are you going to outfarm a Fiddle? No. Fiddle's most likely going to counter jungle you if he saw you. So why not just go for a nice cheeky gank on the bot side? Now, obviously, you have to pay attention to the fact that the wave's quite pushed up. We held our E there. We didn't sneak into the bush properly. All of these ganking executions are not, right? That's not the point. The point more so is, like, if you're going to go for this, I always like communicating. Like, ping here already. I'm going Wolves. I'm going Grump. I'm going here. The lane is at this particular stage will start to actually hold the waves a little bit. They won't push it. They'll just literally chill and allow you the space to get into the brush. Now, once you notice the wave, obviously, we're looking at this and coming back here. We're scanning. We're going to sneak into the brush, obviously, and we're going to be very, very patient here. What we really want is them to shove this a lot and potentially just go for a dive, utilize our passive as best we can. But obviously, that's the kind of play you're probably looking to do, given, Ezreal has no sums. And that's the biggest thing. I do believe without stress, without issue, without flash, we can dive them with a Nautilus. We know the Fiddle's not going topside because he procced on this vision. He saw us over here. We need to be a little bit more patient. And I think this is where you want to kind of use those new emotes. I know they get memed a lot. Push, 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 and then ping the tower, right? Communicate through pings. It's really an invaluable thing, because now you're going to say, well, no one listens. Okay, well, if they don't listen, then nothing changes, right? And if they do listen, amazing play. There's literally no downside. They either don't listen, which they weren't going to do anyway, or they do and you get to actually do something cool here. Especially if you're going to invest this much time to a shoved wave like this, when you have a Nautilus, Zac, Jhin, who's got his boots of Swifties already. Like, I do think this is possible. And now, of course, Zac is watching this hook go in, and as you see this hook go in, you got to get yourself into position and then E, because now your E is not in range to do anything, so you have to cancel it. So move into position as the Nautilus hook flies, position, and try and then clap some cheeks together, okay? So it's usually an execution issue. I don't want to basically say, look, this was a terrible decision, because it wasn't. I like the idea. You're not going to outfarm the Fiddle. You force him to go to the top side. If you do this, you can go Dragon, right? Double kill, plates, everything, all the good stuff. But now you get nothing. You invested a lot of time. Fiddle is going to get your Raptors. He's going to look for your Krugs. He's going to try top lane, although it's a Mega Gnar. And yeah, we can clear the vision up nicely and show Dinah we're ready to do business. But now, is Fiddle here going to this? Is Fiddle here going to this into this? Is Fiddle here going into this? We saw this. We can anticipate. So where is he going next? This means we know, because he's sequenced top to bottom, follow me, this will respawn 420, this will respawn 435 to 445, this is going to be a 455 to 510, depending on champion and pilot and MMR, always a caveat, because I know someone always says something, that's why we give a range. It's 615. Take the camps. Take it. You cleared the vision, take this, do this again. Fiddle's going to do this, and then be behind anyway, so there's going to be nothing down on this side. Or, he's going to reset and you've got a Nautilus with you and 2 bot. So you can either fight him and just go, oh well, now I know where you are, that's okay. Cross mid lane, go ahead and take your rest of your stuff, go gank top lane, whatever, right? So you're in a great position to do a lot of things. Let's see if he actually chooses to do something about it. Because that's always the question mark. I wouldn't be this long without Econ though. I do think we're a little too long without Econ though. And Nara's forced to use his ult. Trinity is going to go in with his ult, get the spin to win. Fidget Spinner says yes. Nice gank by the Fiddle, like that. Boom, boom, like that. Using the, no. You know it's gone, sir. No. Emerald jungle moment. This is it. Multiple times, right? This is what stops you diamond. This is what stops you master. This is what stops you jungle diff. And it seems simple because it is, right? Because it straight up just is. Now, the Zach's going to transition down to bottom lane, but we'll cover what his path was in a second here. Whee! There we go. Root, misses, flash, cheeks, clap, Nautilus, come, Jin, follow, disrupt, heal, and disrupt. Rakan's a very tough cookie. This is not a very easy lane to gank without CC. Diana's moving her down as well. Again, she has a propensity. It just takes so long to get the kill, but we do get it. Diana goes and gets a double proc ult and another kill here. She's going to try and kill the Nautilus with the Q, but she won't be able to. Fiddlesticks has reset and moves on down to the bottom lane. Nautilus dies anyway. And there we go. Now it's a straight up 2v2. Suck, heal, suck, and... oh, well, stuff happened, fiestas happened, mechanics happened, buttons were pressed, and a bunch of people died, and the mid laners lived, so everybody's happy. Now, if you're a mid laner. Yeah, see, that's the problem with this stuff, because if you kind of take these things away and make a bit more of a logical play, as Diana's not going to go in and try and kill the Cassid again, what's our cooldowns? Here we go, yep, there we go. W? No mana. She's out of mana. No mana memes. Of course, I saw that, totally. I'm a professional. Always see these things. So, basically here the Zac, comes out of base, Wolves Gromp, lane gank, up to the river, goes here, goes down here, and then now gets an assist, a kill, dies, loses his passive, yada yada. It's not really the best use of econ time, right? And the Fiddlesticks, in the meantime, I like it. You know, we got top side, we got this sneaky. We don't go here first, we go to this because we see the ganking. Then we rotate to the bottom lane, and sure, we die, but it was a nice fix, you know, for what he could do. The Zac, in the meantime, now just basically says, look, screw top side. Screw them! I'm just going to go down to the blue quadrant, try and gank it again and get a dragon. Fiddle says, I know that's most likely what you're going to do, so I'm going to snowball my Tryndamere, because you guys have a pretty good team fighting comp, and you're going to have a split pushing Cassidon at some point, I'm pretty sure. And I kind of want to just get this Tryndamere fit so he can out-macro you bitches, and then I'll dominate fights by my lonesome, because I got the suck. And here we go. Ooh, stopwatch is a good rune to be used in those situations. And we chase down, we chicken, and we kill. Zac says, cool, I'm going to take this here. Oh, well, while we were watching that, obviously, you saw the kills. But the Zac does, in fact, finish off his stuff. And then he says, hey, you guys be fighting. And that's why we don't finish our camps, right? That's why you rotate immediately. It's a good reactive pathing from the Zac. Like it. We're doing blue. We see the fight. Maybe we could have reacted a little sooner, but we got there perfectly in time. And that's the assessment, right? Can I finish this camp and still get there? Should I ditch now and get there sooner? You got to do the calculations in your head, and you know that's one of the weirdest things I've got in my coaching many years ago. But it was a case of we were winning these games like season 5, and we'd shove down mid lane, we're hard winning, and I just like go all in with whoever was playing, usually a tank or juggernaut at the time, and I would die. And the guy who was coaching me was like, well, you got to do the calculations, you got to do the assessment. Because if you think, oh, my team should follow me, but your team needs base, your team have no mana, they have no health, they want to reset, blah, 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 infinite things that you've got to assess, then you're just doing a dum-dum. And that's very important because there's no copy-paste checklist that you can apply, right? You've got to recognize with your eyes the state of resources, the state of the map, the state of the minions, the macro. That's why it's difficult. And that's why it takes time. It's not easy to do those things, but you know, when you do get them nicely done as well, when you do get them right, as you improve over time, you'll notice that your risk assessment and those kind of calculations just become quite second nature. You know, you'll start to see things like Diana having no mana when she kills a Cassid under the turret. Another gank bot lane, we're just going to spam gank bot lane, and now you're thinking, hey, isn't that what you're meant to do? No, you're meant to jungle, and you're meant to jungle with the flow of what the game provides. The game doesn't always provide you ganks bot lane, and sometimes as Fiddle, you just got to gank the single lanes as well. And that's the best thing, right? If a jungler's investing this heavily bot side, because the ganks also take longer, where's your health bar? Take a little bit longer, and there's 2 people to kill, and it's usually a lot more tricky to get in with the vision control due to the support. You can largely find equal amount of ganks and kills through mid and top. which you can see here. The Zach has 5 KP out of 8, and the Fiddlesticks has 5 KP out of 9. Now, obviously, the extra kill is not on us, but very much so. That should have been the 6th one here, I think, right? The Jin who died level 3 here, that should have been on us. So, 6 out of 9. Definitely exactly the kind of 66% KP you would want on a Fiddle while farming and out-sequencing a Zach, who's now down, you know, almost 1 rotation, but he is getting back into it a little bit. Nara's now getting a little bit paranoid. This is what you do when you get paranoid, but you should also take that plant away, because if a Fiddle doesn't have Hex Flash, he ain't going nowhere. Now the Fiddle's going to go ahead and do this. We see the Trinity diving this. Zach finally goes to the top side. Zach finally goes to the top side and says, we got there eventually. Language is hard. And counter skirmishes the situation. Fiddle's now moving up to the top side, and we saw this, so we have to be very cautious here for the Gnar. We don't want to get caught out. Oh, he's just gonna out and go in. That's what we, oh dear me. Well, that Fiddle committed himself to the cause, and Rakan's now moving up from the bottom lane as well. And yeah, in the meantime, Jin is just going to be like, well, if Rakan's topside, then I'm going to keep hitting these plates away. ADC gold because of the Zach's attention. 5.5k and 4.0 for the Ezreal. So, while I like the Zach's focal point in this game, I can't help but feel, because he got nothing and didn't notice these little things, and because he has let the Fiddlesticks be a little bit unpunished, I want to say, and the Fiddle didn't, because the Fiddle didn't capitalize on the Zach's early mistakes, that's why the Zach's getting a little bit more than he should. And, you know, while the Fiddle is playing well here, okay, he's playing okay, it's just, when someone spam ganks bot lane this much, and you make the great plays you do, these little, like, missed opportunities are so big for getting your bot lane fed, right? Because imagine that you killed Jin Nautilus, and Ezreal and Rakan survived, and got to shove that wave out with you. You get to go back to base, go topside. Zach has nothing to gank here, so he has to go grunt wolves and then think, do I cut down and gank this, or do I go mid lane, or do I keep farming? Right? You take away his camp beginning. But because we didn't, and we made the mistake, even though we killed them, we forced the mid lane to go to the bot lane to go to the mid lane, and now they have to go to the bot lane. It spiraled everything in a bit of a Fiesta fashion instead of directing the Zach a bit. And, you know, it happens. And in the meantime, the Zach's like, well, I'm a snack away that Herald, because basically it's a play of guts and back timings, and sometimes it's a little bit of a coin flip. Now Ezreal goes to the mid lane again, basically says my Rakan hasn't been here for 10 years, but I will give the Zach credit on the repeat camps and the ganks on the bot lane. You know, we're not gonna solo win. Well, we could probably solo win, but you're not gonna solo win every game just because you camp bot lane, right? Because the enemy jungler could take away some of those options. The enemy jungler, as soon as you go topside here, could have already taken this, should have probably already taken this, and then is now ganking bot side with the Fiddle on the Nort and the Jin, while you're topside finally clearing your quadrant. So it doesn't always balance out this way, but it's a good thing to know which lane you want to camp. And if you can't out from the enemy jungler, make sure you're just executing on it, which the Zach did, and now he is. Look at these. Good angles of approach, full committing. Dan is going to show up here. We want to be a little bit cautious. We do have a passive though. Good. 5-1-2. Like, there's nothing wrong with how we strung this together now, right? At all. They were equal, and all the Zach has done is said, look, I'm going to just keep ganking these things. I got the Herald, and I get to punch it before. Oh, that was close, but we got it. So that's excellent, right? That's excellent. I like this. This 9 to 14 minute marker by the Zach was nice. He kept the pressure up. He counter ganked. I'm saying counter ganked, but he counter fought this to save the Gnar before the Fiddle shows up. But if you force the Fiddle to show up here and use his ult here, and the Rakan to show up here, your bot lane gets to further the lead as well. So it's all good. He's building a good, solid foundation. I like it. I like it. Like, it's not, none of it is bad, right? It's just missing things, if that makes sense. Like, it's just missing things. And that's sometimes what it is in Emerald. It's like, you're a solid jungler. You're a jungle knower. That's why I call it the membership for the course is that jungle knower. Like, you understand jungle, but you're missing stuff from being a knower to being a savant. And we want to kind of keep adding those pieces and remove some of we want to trim the fat, right? Sometimes you get too much fat on your meat here. Obviously, Zach doesn't in his legs, as you can see, Johnny Bravo. So that's really important. Now, we see here that Ezreal's just really compromised. Really compromised. Outranged. Jin's so far ahead, you can't match up to him. He needs help. There's a dragon on the map and everyone's top side. That's a very Emerald thing to do. And it looks like Zach is just positioning himself in the right place at the right time. Oh, you're top lane, I'll take a dragon. Oh, you're top lane, I'll take a dragon. Oh, you want to coin flip the herald? Well, I have numbers and bigger balls to do so, and he does. That's it. Then he ganks to get the kill, to get the objective. It's good, solid foundations. Nice. In the meantime, the Fiddle is just looking for things, and yeah, he's up a decent amount of CS at this point, but it's not huge, right? Just over level 10, he should be pretty close to level 10. Yeah, it's not really a huge level gap as it should be. We're going to ult the mid lane, no one go on the Jhin, and he finally does get killed. That's a lot of invest for them. We knew it was going to happen if we're the red team. We kind of knew that was most likely going to be a thing that was going to show up, but it is what it is. So, in the meantime, Nara's pushing this out in the top lane. Nice little recovery there from the rat. Did not expect that, honestly. Did anyone expect that? I didn't. Like, Trinamir was just killing him. Fiddlesticks affected him, and that's what I'm saying about the bot lane camping, right? There's no guarantee that your bot lane will necessarily use the lead properly, or keep it. They both flash in to kill the Nautilus, which doesn't seem like the best play in the world, but at the same time, it's a 3v2, so I'm not sure everyone else wants to overcommit to help you, but I'm okay like trying to mitigate and use your ult. I wouldn't flash, I was a Zac. You're trying to buy time for your Gnar and your Jhin. This is exactly what we're trying to do here. We do have passive to proc as well. Beautiful rotation, beautiful time waste. And now obviously the Trinity will use his R and we should die, which we do. But can we have cleanup here with a rotation from the Kassadin? Dyna still on the bot side. There you go. There you go. That's what you want to do with Zac. You're biding your time. You're waiting for the rotations. You're using your passive properly. You're being the frontline disruptor. That's how we do it. I like it. Meanwhile, Dyna's just like, I think, a little annoyed. She's 7-2-2 and feels like she's losing the game. But again, if you're the Fiddle, there was ways to get her fed without necessarily making her waste so much stuff in bottom lane. You know, you've always got to look at it from yourself as a jungle. I know some people say on the main channel video that I put out on Saturday, hey, the bot lane inted. Of course, everyone's going to lose lane at some point. You're going to have games where you just can't win them. It's not about that, right? It's about the principle of what should we do in this situation to best give us a chance to win. That's it, right? That's it. And, and if you have laners that play around that and team that plays around that, you'll win those games. And it'll happen more often than not. You just focus too much on the negatives. Something to think about, that's all. Right. The Zac's done a solid job in the mid game as well, just kind of shadowing and floating. We do need to be a little bit proactive though. Well, actually we don't really, because we have the Kassadin in bot lane. He's what, 12? You know, the Fiddle's going to start to get pretty mighty. The Ezreal will start to scale. I don't know why this pathing. Like, you can't control this guy's pathing, right? Like, that's just dumb pathing in front of the wall when they're sieging. Nothing's going to happen. Jin's not there. Nara's not there. Kassadin's not there. Where are we going? So I'm going to go in and hold this again, waiting for the Jhin range. Whoa, that was a beautiful lumpty lump, but we have no passive. It's the kind of stuff I'm talking about. Like, just give them the turret. What could we do in this particular case instead then if we're the Zac, right? You want some coaching on it? Oh, dear me. Uh-oh. We're baiting in our team! Sniped! It's just ridiculous. This is very Emerald. Hey, I have no team. They're sieging here. If I go in, I die. I have no passive. I can't clear the wave. I'm Zac. I'm lacking a little bit of experience in CS. Okay. I'll go and do this quickly. Yeah, okay. Do this quickly. Oh, Jhin, you're coming. Let me do wolves quickly and rotate. Oh, I don't have time to do wolves? Okay, let me sit here and we'll go in together. Bomb until your team shows up and then do something, right? Sequence to where you want to be to sync out with your team. Don't sit here hovering, doing nothing, then go in and die when you actually can't do anything because you don't have numbers advantage. When you could have gone, boom, it's a Krug camp in value. Boom, 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 right? If this is up. So think about that. Also here, I can do Krugs into Raptors and then over the wall when Jhin arrives. And if the turret's gone and they're still hanging around, then you can go in. All of this that happens now is irrelevant. Kassadin. He wants to go. Yeah. See, now if you're Zac, you're like, why'd you guys do that? And then you blame them. You go to Discord and you type a lot. It's your fault. You're dead. Why are you dead? Why aren't you level 11? Why aren't you shadowing properly? Why aren't you clearing your camps in the meantime? See, now you can hold the wave. There's dead minions to space and time and the 20th dimension. Like, you know, you're worried about the Herald. I get it, but just hold the wave then. Go to this afterwards. Hit this guy. Oh, okay, cool. Or skip the Raptors. Go straight to Herald afterwards. But, like, don't waste this, I feel like. That's good, important econ early because your Raptors will still be there. The Krugs are still going to be there. The Herald's still going to be there because they have to reset and then come up to this. Most likely, they're also going to fall back to take camps if you can see or have any deep vision. You follow? That's some mid-game tips for ya. Now, What's going to happen here, we can speed run it a little bit, is we don't actually have a lot of kills for the red team for a while. Because we know the Dragon's going to be spawning up and the Zac is trying to get that Herald just in time, which he does. Obviously, that's the time we need to focus on before the Baron respawns. We need to keep an eye on this. We want to shove up this vision line. We really want to shove up this vision line. If you're a jungler that can really push waves, and again, Zac's not amazing, but he can, push this wave out. Push this to give vision line. Someone will rotate to cover. Now you can cut it and generate some sort of numbers advantage in the river, and then look to make a pick. Jin's down here as well, which is what you have to factor in. If Jin has no interest in this, all you do is push up the wave a little bit, don't die. You push it up conservatively and intelligently, and you look at what the enemy team's doing. You don't push it up because I said and die. If you can't push it up, you don't. You sag off, right? Use your brain. Do the calculations. Now, Jin does rotate over here. The Nautilus is out of position and dies. So this particular stage, leave. No. Just go. Everybody bounce. Jin go catch him mid-wave. Zac, take this away. Make sure that, make sure you get the experience. Give Cass, well, if he's almost 16, give it to him. But for now, take it yourself, right? Take your camps here. You should have a decent sequence if you set it up properly. Push this wave out a little bit. Give them the dragon and maximize experience here. Ward it up. Take everything. Just don't be in a position to die. Don't coin flip this. You have no Nautilus. This is a waste of time. It's an absolute waste of time. This is so stupid. Because if you push this up as well, what you could do is basically just cut through, go and take some of this, and if you think your team's going to fight, and this is less if you're a Zac, more of like your Kindred or Graves, I would basically cut through the vision line that you generated, take all of this, push this, activate the Herald, and punch it. So if your team fights, you probably get an inhib tower. And even if you don't, you force good pressure here, right? Such that your team can push these waves up, fall back and take all of this stuff, and then maybe you can set up a nice fight over Baron. Like, that's the idea, but you just don't want to coin flip this dragon. Like, don't even fight it. Even as Zac, I might even think about doing this. Honestly, because of your map mobility with max range E, if you use it to go around the map, it's a possibility. So, we are going to give this up. Basically, what are we at? 20 minutes. For the next 2 minutes, nobody dies, amazingly, until this moment here. We'll jump to here now. So no one's died at all. There's been a turret taken, but nothing really. Everyone's just posturing. But we can see here we don't want... No. Yeah. Don't push past vision line. If you're the ADC and there's a Rengar or a Fiddle, you know, it's just not worth these minions. It's not worth it. It's not worth it, because here he comes. There we go. Rocket Belt, Flash, R, everything used. We're going to go and don't actually get the kills. Actually, turn around. Can we clap some cheeks? Yes, we can. Then we can R and disrupt. So nice counter engage by the red team, actually. It still doesn't excuse the Jin's positioning, because the Jin was not in a position to actually, right? You know what I mean? It worked out because everyone reacted properly, and the red team was here looking at Baron, and blue team did not think about this at all. So both teams making, like, blue team as a whole, big mistake, all ending there, not understanding that the red team was there. From the red team's perspective, excellent rotation by everybody to peel, disrupt, and do the right things. Only mistake was Jin a little bit, unless he was actually saying, hey guys, I'm baiting it, and hovering top side of the river, the lane. So, regardless, when your ADC does that, as you can see, the ADC did do it, Zac immediately rotates, the whole team rotates, protects him, peels him, and then chains the next one after the other. So that's great by the red team. In solo queue, when your ADC does that, they were in a position to make the right play, and they did. That's it. Now they can turn to the Baron. Huzzah and hooray! Meantime, Herald's pushing. Zac shows up here. Cassidon's coming online, baby! Not quite level 15 or 16, but we'll get in there slowly. Now, obviously, we're losing our camps here, but that's fine. What are we? 133, 37 CS. The Fiddlesticks is econ. We've kind of not focused on it, but all the principles I mentioned apply to him as well. They apply to him as well. Although, now that we watch this, it seems like there's other things going on. Jin, yeah, everyone can reset here and move together. Let's just hope he's, you know, being a little smart. Nautilus should be shadowing him more so, but we have good vision here. I would put deep vision. Alright. Fiddle's going. You're overcommitting. You're overcommitting. There you go. Run, Jin! He overcommitted. The Ezreal did hit, though. He overcommitted. The Fiddlesticks got desperate here. This one you could argue was okay, but once Jin kind of flashes and moves into the darkness where you know the team is, you got to pull back a little bit and go, okay, I burned his sums. Next time he can't use his sums, right? Against, you know, the Dyna's engage, he won't be able to survive. That's a win in those situations. But there he just straight up blindly saw the Jin and went in. Dyna's going to try and disrupt this one, but Zac will say, hello, we have tanky people. Clapping cheeks once more. Beautifully done. Good tank stuff. decent shadow, maybe a little low on the sort of high econ side where I think we should be, where we could be as a Zac, because you can be 7 CSPM with Zac easily. But otherwise, yeah, this was nice. You know, definitely some things to add to his game, without a doubt, especially details early. Fiddlesticks, a lot to add to his game. Really just lacked impact, I think, in general, like farming, ganking, just any sort of real impact. Great stuff top lane, though. That was lovely. Decent stuff mid lane. Some interesting picks for sure. But outside of that, what was he really trying to accomplish? And I think he was just kind of moving around the map a bit too much without a sort of raw goal. And the Zac knew that he wanted to camp bot lane, and that was it. And he did it. Whereas the Fiddle seems like he was reacting a little too much to things without thinking sort of ahead that they were going to happen. So there you go, a nice Emerald Jungle game. Can we hit the Nexus, everybody? GG's. All right, Virkayu, GG for your jungle courses and membership free content, all that good stuff. Thank you very much for watching, and as always, I will see you all in the next one.